Hi everybody, it's Cathy. Happy Tuesday. I'm here with my fourth video in the series Craft Fair Journals 2019, and today I'll be showing you a micro journal that are fun and easy to make, and should be a nice seller at your craft fair for very low-end, inexpensive journals. Let me take you through a couple of them that I've made. First of all, I purchased the journals at Dollar Tree, and you get 3 in a pack for $1. They look like this. They have 50 sheets in them. They have a cute little binding. They're a mini composition book. If you go to your Dollar Tree or dollar store and they don't have them, they are available online if you do a search for mini composition book, because quite often in the stores they've run out because of school supply have been bought out. But take a look online. And you can get free shipping if you have them shipped to the store near you. Okay, let me take you through the two that I've made. This one is a more vintage, shabby style. I have a little bit of lace and some rhinestones and a quote. There's beauty and simplicity with a little heart on the front. It has a string enclosure. There's a full page pocket on the front with a tag, a vertical pocket on the side here with another tag. And I put little stickers through it just because I had them and I wasn't going to use them actually. Here's a pocket with a tag. And skip a few pages, I put a butterfly in there. I glued pages together for another pocket and put a little card in there. Skip some pages, I have a belly band with a little tag and an embellishment. And then back here, there's another little sticker. I also added some deli paper just for some interest. And in the back, there's another full page pocket with another little tag. And that's it for this one. Let me show you this one. I just made this one. This is from a paper collection that I'll be working with today. It is called, it's by Paper Studio, and I love it. It's called Cactus Makes Perfect. It was half price. It's regular paper. It's not cardstock. And this also closes with a string. It has 3 buttons on the front that I put string through. It says, "Find joy in the little things." I thought that was perfect for these little journals. Full page pocket, similar to the other one, with a card. Vertical pocket with a tag. Double pocket with an index card here and a little card here. Whoops, there we go. And a belly band with a bookmark. You know how I love to include bookmarks. And a corner pocket here with a little booklet with a place to write. Then again, I glued pages together. And I put a tag in there, a card in there. I covered the edge with some pretty paper to give it some interest. And then, whoops, pages got stuck together. Then back here are the deli pages again to add some interest. And in the very back, a full pocket again with a card. And that's it for this. I think these are really cute. I anticipate selling these for $5 at the craft fair, or maybe $5.50, 2 for $10. They make great stocking stuffers. or little teacher gifts. Okay, let's go over your materials. I hope you can see this. First of all, as far as paper goes, you're going to need one piece. I used a 12 by 12 piece of regular paper from the collection. Cactus Makes Perfect. Anyway, it's cut down for the cover at 4.5 by 6 5/8. The inside cover of each page, that was the full page pocket. You need 2 pieces at 3 1/4 by 4.5. Other paper that I used were some cardstock scraps for tags, bookmarks, and cards. And then the deli paper, which is optional. I cut down the pieces 3 1/4 by 3 inches. Other material that you need are scissors, glue, a hole punch, any kind will do. I just happen to have Memory Keeper. A corner rounder, a 1-inch hole punch, string, yarn, or ribbon for your closure, buttons if you'd like, and obviously the mini composition books that we're going to use as the base. Okay, let's get started. Put this all out of the way. Okay, to start, I've already cut down my paper to if I can find out where it is, that would be a good thing. Here it is. I wanted to use this color. And I cut it a little larger when I just finished making this one. I cut it by 4.5 by 6.5. And I really had to stretch it to get it to cover. So I just think if you give it another 1/8 of an inch, you won't have to struggle as much as I did, and you can just cut off the excess. What I do to simply start is I first make sure the paper's the right width. And I wrap it around just to make sure. Then I open up the book. I flatten it out as much as I can so I can get ready to glue it. And I put glue on the paper. What you want to do before you put the glue is on one side you want to round the corners. As I said, one side is a little larger, so you don't want to round the corners there yet. You can round it after you put it on the book. One thing you don't want to do is put too much glue. This is not cards. If you're using cardstock, you don't have to worry about that. I'm not using cardstock. I find it's just a little easier to stretch the paper, and the paper doesn't crack as much if I'm not using cardstock. So don't put too much glue. It looks like I have a lot, but they're very thin lines. And what I like to do is start with the corner that I've rounded already and match that up. Making sure it's matched on the bottom and on the top. And then I spread that out, mush it down, and varnish it. Is that what you call it? Varnish? Yeah, varnish it. So that it matches up. You're using liquid glue because it is a little more forgiving. You can move it around after you put it on. And you really have to get it into the creases by the spine. Make sure you're pushing down there. Remember, this paper is fragile if it's not cardstock as well. So be careful if you put too much glue. And you'll see I'm just a little bit over. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to round the corners. I guess you probably can't see that I'm over because of the white, but I'm going to round the corners of the two that I didn't round already. Then I'm still a smidge over, so I'm simply going to going to trim that off. You know what I find? I stop in the middle of my sentences a lot. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do that all the time. I've always done it. It's not just because I'm getting older, although I'd like to blame it on that, but I can't. Okay, that's our cover. Isn't that paper cute? I got a little tired of doing the shabby chic vintage kind of look, so it's a nice change. Next, we want to do the inside covers of each side, and remember those are your 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 inch papers, and in those papers you want to take your hole punch and punch a notch in the center. I've already done that, but one thing I do need to do is round the corners, because this composition book, all the corners are rounded. You only need to do it at the top. You don't need to do it at the bottom. And that should fit right in there. So we're going to glue that down. And if I'm moving too fast, simply, put me on pause. Those of you who are new to crafting. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing to the back. I have the paper already cut, so I'm going to round the corners. And I'm going to put that in the back. Just like that. Okie doke. I'm going to go back after I finish towards the middle and go back and put cards in. Right now I'm going to put a vertical pocket there. So I'm going to use a different color. I have a little bit of a piece here, and I think it kind of picks up nicely the black. And for this strip, I just wing it on how wide I want it to be. Because this is such a small journal, I don't need it to be very long. I mean, very wide. So that's crooked, so I'm going to go on this side. And I want to make sure you're all the way to the edge. We are going to round these corners. I'm going to cut off the excess. And I'm going to round the outside corners now. Okay. And we're going to add some glue. I love these journals to be able to put in your purse, take with you wherever, and use them for whatever you want to use, whatever folks want to use them for. Okay, so let's make a card for here, and we'll make a tag for here. And I'm going to use cardstock for that. And let's see, I do have some scraps over here I'm going to try to use. And I'm just going to set it in the corner here. so I know what I have. I think this might be pretty to go for a tag because it kind of picks up the colors. So I'm going to cut it. And can't be very long. And then I just simply cut off a corner to about 1/3 of the way to the top. I take that same piece I cut off and I put it on this corner. And I do that so I'll be cutting the exact same width and length as I just did. And I think it's too pointy at the top, so I'm just going to cut off a little bit. And there you have it. I need a hole punch to punch a hole in the top. There you go. And some string for the, or yarn or whatever, for the top. And I don't mind using colors that normally you wouldn't wear together, but I use them, they kind of clash, but I like the way they look when I'm doing a journal. And this, you could ink it if you want. I think this particular, let me try it. I didn't ask you to take out ink, but if you want to and ink some of the things, I don't ink very much in these, but this, it'll help it stand out just a little bit. Yeah, it just adds enough definition to it. There. Okay, and over here I need some sort of a card. So I'm going to use this striped one. Can't be very long. And it can't be very wide. So that should do it. And I'm going to round these corners. Whoops, all the way around. And I just do that because I like the way it looks. And I am going to ink this one. There we go. Okay, let's go over a couple pages. I glued it together. Nice job. And I'm actually going to open up the other one that I made just to see what I'm doing. Okay, the next was a pocket. Oh, and what might be nice that I didn't do is put some sort of little piece of color or embellishment over on this side. And I'm simply going to take some scraps from my paper and use that. Maybe one of, these are cute. No, I don't like it. Let's try these. Yes. A little prettier, a little brighter. And all I'm going to do is put it right there. It just adds a little something something. Normally on my regular journals, you know, I would be making something and putting something a little more bedazzling here, but I think this, you know, remember these are low-cost, simple journals, so I think this is fine. So we're going to skip. It has about 50 pages, so I'm just going to take a chunk of pages and go to the next spot. And here we're going to make a pocket. And I have some scraps here that we're going to use right here. I'm going to notch the top. Whoa, I'm sorry. That got in the frame there. We're going to put that right there. But before we do, I'm actually going to put another thinner pocket down here. So I'm going to use this as a template. Then I need to even this up. And okay, and we're going to put it there. Sorry for the interruption. My husband brought me a Diet Coke. I was dying for one. And I'm actually going to put a little notch in this little one as well. And unfortunately, I did a little crooked. So I'm actually going to have to do another one. Darn. I like the way that looked. Oh well. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. We all make mistakes, right? I make them all the time. You know what I used to do? I taught for a while before I did administration. And I actually used to model for my students making mistakes so that they got comfortable being okay with not being perfect and making mistakes. And it really helped. It really helped them feel a little more confident because they saw their teacher making mistakes and called me out on it. And I was able to turn that around and, first of all, help them be accepting of folks that can't do everything perfectly, like them, and then be okay with themselves making mistakes. So it helped all around. So that really taught me that it's okay to make mistakes, right? And I'm going to put in a couple of little cards here. I'm going to put in one of the little green ones. A little too fat. Okay, and I'm going to round the corners on this. Add some ink to it. Just a tad. Has places to write on the back. We're going to slip that in there. And then we need something for up there. So let's use another color, maybe that funny striped color here. And we'll round the corners on this as well. And add some ink. ink pad falls apart when you do that. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so we're going to move along. In this next spot, we're going to put a, make sure that's only one. We're going to add a belly band here. Let's see. What color do we want to do the belly band? I think I have this. Might be pretty. So we'll do that. My measurement technique. And right in the middle. Whoops, whoops. And then what I might do is just rough cut this one. I don't know how it'll look. Actually, there's a prettier one if I have a scrap with it, which I don't. Oh well. Yeah. So I'm not going to worry about getting this, all the white out of this. I don't like the way that looks. It does need to be fussy cut out. Maybe this one, because it has pink in the back, will be better. Let's try it. I worked across, I was a drama teacher for my last 4 years before retiring, and my room was across from the art teacher, so I used to always go in and watch her class whenever I could, and I remember her always saying to the students, "Don't move the scissors, you move the paper." So that has stuck with me. Okay, that adds a little something something, and in here I'm going to put a bookmark, and I need cardstock for the bookmark. So let me get a piece because I don't seem to have any more scraps left. I love this. I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. It's from the Paper Studio. It was half price. And it's Tinkle and Tweaked, and it's so pretty. It has a lot of different pretty pages. But I need something that's going to go kind of with the cactus. Maybe this green one. Although that's really pretty. I'm going to use this anyway. Even if it doesn't say cactus. And we're just going to cut right through these pink flowers. And because this is a smaller journal, it has to be a smaller bookmark. Okay, let me round these corners. I love this tool, I have to admit. And we need a hole. And I need a bigger hole in the bookmark. We're going to put it there. And I'm going to use pink this time. And I just love bookmarks. And if people don't use them as bookmarks, they can use them to write on the back. Okie doke. That looks cute. All right, next up, I'm going to go a few pages. And here we're going to glue a couple pages together to make a full page pocket. So I'm going to take 2 pages and glue them. Don't put a lot of glue because this writing paper is so thin. And then I'm going to take, not glue these together, but glue these 2 together just to make them a little thicker. Then, now that I have these 2 together and these 2 together, I'm going to glue them like a pocket. Down the side, down the bottom, and up the other side. And before I do that, I need to notch this one before I put it down. I should have done that before I glued it. Okay, that's okay though. Okay, and then you want to make sure to take your bone folder or something, the edge of your scissors gently. Make sure these didn't stick together too badly. And in here we're going to put a full page almost a full page card. And I'll use this same material paper. It can't be too, this is going to be too wide. Round the edges. And plop that in here. Then I want to put a corner pocket in here. I actually thought I had one already cut. Kind of leftover, but I can't find it. Ah, here it is. Okay, and I'm going to put it on this side, but I need to, and I don't need to round the corner actually. I'm going to glue that down, because I don't like all this white when we have the card there. So I'm going to try to make it more interesting. And then I'm going to put almost like a little decoration, a binding on this side. And I already had one cut out, but I may have used it. Let's see. Maybe I did. Okay, put that over there. And let me try to find a pretty paper. I might have some over here. Yes. So all I'm going to do is cut a strip about, maybe How long is this? It's about 1.5 inches. And I'm going to take that 1.5 inches and I'm going to fold it in half. Like this. And then I want to put it on the edge of the paper. Find out which edge is the prettiest. This one's more interesting. And I'm going to have to cut it off. And I'm going to have to round the corners of it. So, just like that. Doesn't that make it look pretty? And yeah, I've never used this technique in my other journals, and I think I'll try it because I just think it's so pretty. You know, I always put lace and tags and tabs to dress up the edges of the paper, but I really like the way this looks. Just add some interestingness. And I need to put a card in here. So, let's see. I think I'm going to just put this in there. I think that's pretty. But I'm going to round the corners. Rounding corners is my friend. I do it a lot, I have to admit. Then ink the edges a bit. There we go. Okay, let's see what we have so far. We have a card, a full pocket, a vertical pocket, a tag, a double pocket, 2 cards, a belly band and a bookmark, a corner pocket with a card, a full pocket with a card, and then I think that is it. Oh, the deli paper. So I'm going to put the deli paper back here. You don't have to use the deli paper. I just love what it does. We would typically put that, you know, or some sort of vellum or something in our regular journals. So I just think it makes it look really cute to put it in these journals. And I'm simply going to take the deli paper. It's about 3.5 by 3.5, 3 by 3.5. And I'm going to staple it together. Then I'm going to put a little edge on it. And I'm going to wrap that around. So I need to fold it in half. Very easy, because I want to hide the staples. Yeah, it needs to be trimmed just a smidge. And we're going to put that right in here. Glue it down. And that's that. And we're going to go to the very back. And I don't care that it peeks over. Well, maybe I do. It's peeking over a little too much. So I am going to trim it, because what will happen, it'll get all bent with the closure string. So back here we need a card, and I have a card already made up. It says find joy in the little things. I'm actually going to put that one in the front, and the one we put in the front I'm going to put in the back. And this has to be cut down. Let's see. Yes. Oh well. I can still use this one. And around these corners. Whoops, wrong side. There's a 1/2 inch side and a 1/4 inch side. You have to use the 1/2 inch side. And ink this. Okay. Now that's going in the front. And we're done with the inside of the journal. Now all we have to do is check it. I'm going to check it because this is my little vertical pocket is a little too long. And I didn't notice that. Okay. We need to punch a hole for the string that we're going to use on our closure, and I'm going to punch it right by the back pocket. I'm going to use a little punch. You want it right as close to the edge you can get without fear of it tearing when you have the string in it. And for the string, I'm just using this yarn here, or this, actually this was like a wax string. I'm going to put the double side, actually no, yeah, the double side out and feed the other 2 strings through it. And what I like to do here is I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to put it right here. Just, it reinforces the hole a bit. I'm actually going to put it on and I'm going to wipe it off. And I did have a wet wipe, but I don't know where it is. Just mash it down. Not wipe all of it off, but quite a bit. Put the card back in its place, making sure it doesn't stick to the string that I just put glue on, but it'll be okay. Okay, this is going to be the string. We still have some decorating to do on the front. So I love the phrase, joy in the little things. I think it's perfect for these mini journals. So I'm going to glue that down right on the front. And put it here. And then I'm going to put some buttons here as well. If I can find some buttons, I took them out. Here they are. I only see 2 of them. 1, 2. Ay, 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 ay. I have a plate of junk here that I use for my journal. And here it is. It was, look where it was, stuck to the Post-it. Geesh. Okay, so I'm going to glue these. But before I do, I want to put some string in them to make it look like I labored over threading them. And I'm just taking string and I'm putting them through. Hopefully I'm putting them through. And I don't, try again. Try from the other side. There we go. Take it in and out. Hold on to it. And all I'm going to do is cut it off pretty close to the edge of the button. And then I'm going to put glue on here. And I'm simply going to mash that thread down. And as it's drying, I'm going to put it here. Can all dry together. Cute. And I think it makes it so cute to use some brighter colors in these journals because they're so little. It makes them stand out and look really cute. So I'm going to do this to the other two. And I buy my buttons, well, I try to find, these are new buttons. I got these, on sale at, I want to say, probably Walmart. Not on sale. They don't usually have sales. But cheap enough. I got a big, like 200 of these buttons for like $3. And I always try to find buttons at, antique shops and things, but honest to goodness, the antique shops around me in Miami really don't carry a lot of that stuff. And if they do, they're outrageously expensive. Now, if I go up to the Carolinas or even in Central Florida, I'll find some nice finds, but down here in Miami, and I'm in South Dade, we don't have a lot of inexpensive antique places. And our, like our Salvation Armies and our Goodwill, you never find things like that there. Most of ours are full of clothing. Rarely do they have any kind of antique-y stuff, unfortunately. We used to have a big antique section in Dania Beach, Florida, which is about an hour from where I live. But many of those are even leaving and gone, I think the owners passed away and no one took over their business. Okay, that's crooked. Let's move it down just a tad. Goodness gracious, I just can't get this right. Okay. So isn't that cute? To be careful when you put glue where it's not supposed to be on this thin paper. It can rip the paper. Okay, so that's it. We tie it up. And voila. As I said, I would sell these for about $5.50, maybe $6. And sometimes I package them. I'll show you how I package them. I order bags from clearbags.com. And they come like this. This is not actually the size I ordered for this because I'm out of them. But this is the back. So I turn this over. Put it in. And close it up. Just like that. And that's how I would package them to sell them. I would leave 1 or 2 out for them to be able to look through, but then the rest I would leave in the package. Where I learned about packaging was from Lyric Lover 810 on YouTube. And it really made a difference in my craft fair last year, or simply in stocking stuffers. You have to watch her channel. She's just started her craft fair series for 2019. She's been doing it, I believe, for 5 years. And she has great ideas. If you're looking for how to make, holiday gifts, teacher gifts, everything, she has it. So check out her channel. She's really inspired me. Her craft fair series is not all journals. It's a variety of things. In fact, she just did one on embellished paperclip, embellished clothespins. That's really cute. So check her out, and thank you for watching. And please, if you don't mind and you like the video, give it a thumbs up, please. That really helps me. As far in the eyes of YouTube, it helps me get to where I want to be. So thanks a lot, and you have a great Tuesday. Bye.